What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are talking about Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. In this movie, it's probably going to be hard to say, but it is probably my least favorite Star Wars film. Now, granted, this is the start of my Star Wars rewatch that I'm going to be doing for Ahsoka coming out in the end of August here, but regardless, The Phantom Menace is still a good movie. I still like it. You know, Darth Maul, he's fantastic. He's one of the most badass looking villains of all time. Qui-GON Jinn, he's fantastic. Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, young Obi-Wan, he's fantastic. I really liked Padme and young Anakin in this. The pod racing sequence is pretty great. The things that don't really hit as well, I really loved this movie as a kid, because obviously as a kid I think I saw myself in Anakin. I was a kid that had blonde hair as a young kid and then turned brown. All of a sudden young blonde Anakin, a couple movies later, is Hayden Christensen with brown hair. So I was like, I really think I must have seen myself in him as a kid, but I also didn't know he was Darth Vader at this point, right? So like, I saw this movie, saw the second one, really loved it, and then saw the third one, and by the third one I was like, what? He's Darth Vader? Like, you know, I didn't fully connect the dots as a kid. As an adult, obviously, you know the whole story. You know, he turns into Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, blah, 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 blah. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Mandalorian, Boba Fett. You know, like, there's all these shows and stuff after this that have come out. So I've been a much bigger Star Wars fan. But in '99, I was born when this movie came out. So clearly I didn't see it in theaters, but I probably saw it on DVD years later. Or even VHS. I don't know if that was still around by then. I think it was DVD. But overall, I think I give this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. What really doesn't do it for me in this movie is Jar Jar Binks. And Jar Jar Binks, I think as a kid I liked, but now as an adult, there are some sequences, like this photo honestly doesn't look too bad of Jar Jar, like in a real sequence holding a door. You know, I don't hate Jar Jar enough to go send Ahmed Best, the poor actor that was portraying him, just doing his job, death threats. Like, that guy should have never gotten as much hate as he did for poor Jar Jar. Like, he was literally just doing what he was told, right? Like, George Lucas wrote the part. Like, Ahmed Best didn't have anything to do with the actual what he said, you know, other than just doing it, you know, like, I don't know. I blame George Lucas, not Ahmed Best, but I'm glad he got to come back in The Mandalorian as a Jedi, and you know, even though that sequence in The Mandalorian wasn't that great, but I'm glad he got a little, you know, a little, what is it, return, a little comeuppance, a little, you know, a little, what is the word I'm looking for? Comment below if you know what I'm trying to say. But you know, after the fact, he got his props, and I'm happy he got, you know, a little. They fixed the past a little bit. But overall, 3 out of 5 stars. You know, this sequence is early on in this movie where Jar Jar's like running, and it looks terrible. Later in the movie, when there's close-ups on him or there's other sequences, he looks pretty good. The CGI actually holds up pretty well, but some of the scenes are just, you know, hard to miss because it looks so bad. As a kid, never noticed it. As an adult watching it, some of this stuff could use a little update. I know George Lucas isn't past going to older films and tweaking them a little bit, like he did that with The New Hope and put some CGI stuff in that's more modern, when honestly that's the one, the OG Star Wars is the one Star Wars film I wish wasn't touched at all, so I could go back and watch it as it was originally presented, right? But I understand George Lucas might have changed his mind over the years and been like, I hate that sequence. We gotta cover that up with a giant CGI ass. I don't know. It makes no sense. If you know what I'm talking about from Star Wars: A New Hope, we'll eventually get to it in my Star Wars movie rewatch. So we're now starting the Star Wars movie rewatch, but I have also done a Marvel movie rewatch recently. So I have done Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That just came out on Disney Plus recently, so I watched that. But going back in order, that's the most recent Marvel movie. Going back in order, we were at Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Now we're going on to Guardians 1 and Guardians 2. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be ranking the Guardians movies. We're going to continue my Marvel rewatch. Every Sunday-ish, I'm going to try and do a Star Wars film. You know, they're just very long, so they can't just be done necessarily on a weeknight after jiu-jitsu or something. You know, it's got to be done on a weekend where you got a little bit more time. But you know, Star Wars 2 Attack of the Clones is one of my favorites, and we'll talk more about why it's one of my favorites in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Comment below if you have any thoughts, movie recommendations. Comment below your thoughts on this movie. What are your thoughts on Jar Jar? What are your thoughts on Darth Maul? I think too short-lived. He should have lasted a little bit longer in the movies, but he does come back in animated, so that's always a plus. You can see him in the Clone Wars if you want to see that. That's honestly a great animated show. I think I liked Rebels a little bit better, but I think I liked Bad Batch the most. So comment below, what is your favorite Star Wars movie or project of all time? And what are your thoughts on The Phantom Menace? Were you alive to go see it in '99? Are you like me? Were you born after and you've only seen it on Disney Plus or on DVD? But comment below. What level of Star Wars fandom do you have? And are you more of a Marvel guy, more a Star Wars guy? Either way, they're both Disney, so you can find them both on Disney Plus. So that makes me happy as a fan of both. So stay tuned. We got Ahsoka coming up. We're going to be following that Ahsoka series and rewatching and doing full episode breakdowns every week. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be the official weekly after show for the Ahsoka show coming up very soon. That's only 2 weeks out in August. I'm so excited for that. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.